Pets, and welcome to Shameless Plugs podcast. I am Samantha the Writer, and I am joined by my co-host, J.A. George.
Hey everybody, hey Alex.
Woohoo! It is a cloudy, somewhat rainy morning here in the delightful state of Ohio. So we're doing the Shameless Plugs thing. If you have not tuned into Shameless Plugs before, we are a podcast where we shamelessly promote ourselves because we are, in fact, the best writers in the history of the known universe.
Correct.
But we also like to give the opportunity for other writers to plug themselves a little bit, which is why we're really excited about this episode, because we're having one of our favorite people back.
Yes. Agreed. Agree with all of that.
Craytus Jones is going to do a reading for us, which is something we've gotten requests for, so he is going to be reading 2 of his pieces for us today, and we are going to kick it off with Gunslinger's End, so here it is.
Out here on this desert plain, I can't cleanse these hands I've stained. Killing men to ease my pain, a bastard's name is all I've gained. I have heard the demons sing, and I've tasted of old death's sting. If there's a God that justice brings, let my corpse from the gallows swing. No friends, no booze to pass the time, just lots of guilt in this damned dark mind. Pale faces of men I've slain pour down on me like cold rain. I would pluck an angel's wings, and I'm the hand of old death's sting. If there's a God that justice brings, let my corpse from the gallows swing. Posse's riding hard to collect the price they branded on my head. I find no fear in this black soul. Truthfully, this was my goal. I have no excuse to bring on this day of reckoning. If there's a God that justice brings, let my corpse from the gallows swing. I don't imagine hell could be any worse than this life for me. I could probably break away and live to die another day. But I don't want this bastard's name, and I don't want this killer's shame. I'm guilty as hell and tired of pain, so send me to the devil's flames. I have heard the demons sing. I'm ready to feel old death's sting. If there's a God who relief brings, then let my corpse from the gallows swing.
All right, that was Gunslinger's End. Thank you, Craytus. I really liked the rhythm to that one, the cadence of that. And up next is another piece from Craytus, Modern Day Cro-Magnon Man.
Sometimes it's fun to try to pitch yourself against a puzzle. Try considering tonight's story as a puzzle. It's a story about a monster. That's a familiar theme in science fiction and fantasy. But tonight's story deals with an impossible monster. See if you understand enough of the relationship of living things to figure out why this monster is impossible.
Bottomless eyes and lips like a curse, monolith body and a soul like a hearse, sainted by sinners, bastardized by squares. Through time's thin fabric, his legend will tear. Grasping linguistics with his python mind, thrashing symbolistic and obsolete design, muscles like cables strung tight, pole to pole, conscience a corpse long forgotten and cold. In horrid majesty stands the modern-day Cro-Magnon Man, murdering truth with no remorse, steering nature off its course. Full mastery of fact and steel, reinventing bombs and wheels. Bold scientist and man of craft, diplomatic psychopath. Head is a vast vortex of twisted tact, meticulous nature strapped to his back. Full of cold knowledge, unwarmed by caring, seems like he's watching, but he's just staring. Son of iniquity, exile of God, spared by convenience, raised beneath the rod, born of destruction, king of pain crowned, comedy fed, and tragedy bound.
What do you think would happen to a monster on any planet, which is just an island in space. It became so successful that nothing could fight it. It had starved to death, of course, as an impossible kind of monster. There never could be such a monster as is discussed in this story.
All right, that was modern-day Cro-Magnon Man from Craytus. So, Craytus, again, thank you very much for being on the show. Thank you for featuring your work on the show. We really do appreciate
Craytus.
it. This was the first in several of what we are calling Shameless Storytime, where we are going to have writers come on the air and read their work. We've actually already got some fantastic writers already. We are talking to them, and there are some plans for some people to come on. So you will be hearing more of these episodes in the future. I'm really excited about this. I think these are really cool. It's great to hear writers reading their own work on the air. Samantha, you've used this phrase before, and I'm probably about to butcher it, but it is the it's kind of like the digital book signing is almost what it feels like, where the writers are coming on and reading their own work to the readers, the listeners in this case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I kind of love that image as someone who worked in a bookstore and got the opportunity to see a lot of writers come in and read their stuff. I think having the ability to just go to a place and have this library of readers that you can access is amazing. So hopefully our Shameless Storytime can become a library for you of amazing writers, new writers, people you've heard of, people you haven't heard of. And if you would like to be one of our writer readers, let us know.
Yes.
Reach out to us. You know,
absolutely.
You can find us. We're pretty accessible.
Yep.
I mean, shamelessplugs@gmail.com. That's the email, and then www.shamelessplugs.podcast.com. That's the website, and you can find us either place.
Yeah.
So find us.
We're also reach out to us on Twitter or Instagram as well. We are at Plugs Podcast on Twitter and at Shameless Plugs Podcast on Instagram.
Yep. So awesome. Well, that was the first Shameless Storytime. Yay!
Yeah, the first ever Shameless Storytime. Woo!
All right. Bye, outlets. Tune in next time.
See you guys.